Hey, hello everyone. It's Coach Chris coming at you on Saturday, August 31st, 2024 at 12:49 p.m. Central Daylight Time. Happy Labor Day to all you Americans out there. Got behind this week, had some really nice days, and so I'm doing the Friday recap today on Saturday. So I hope you don't mind. It was really a hard day to trade overall, but I had some really good success both using the AccuTrader system and some of my other entry methods and strategies. But I wanted to show and highlight a couple of really nice trades. During the morning, we had two trades. This first one, which was right at the open, went over 70 points depending on where you exited. And then the second one that triggered at 10 minutes to 10 went to 110 points within 15 minutes, zero drawdown. The first had zero drawdown also. And this ultimately went down, let me measure this again. I had measured it. Ultimately ended up going down 210 points total. Now, I've said it over and over. Obviously, no one's going to get in exactly at the right second and get out and take advantage of a full move like this. I mean, let's be realistic. There's no that's good of a trader, but here again, we're getting nice results and quick results with zero drawdown, and there's nothing better than that. So this, as I said, this was a difficult day to trade. Here again, very whippy market, individual candles going up and down very quickly. By the way, this is a 5-minute candle, which is what I recommend you trade with using our system. And it slows things down a lot and gives you much better data for the algos and the formulas for this system. The system is a momentum-based system, meaning that when we get triggered into a trade, you can expect fast and directional movement. We don't know for how long, but you are going to get some type of a reaction based on our signals. So let's just look at the trades again. I do not recommend trading this pre-market. There simply is not enough volume and volatility. There's too much manipulation where the big players can move the market around, and you can get stuck on the wrong side of that very quickly. So I only recommend trading during the New York session, and that's very important because you can get false signals with this when there's not enough volatility and volume in the market, and it's just not going to be as accurate. So the first trade here triggered at 8:30 a.m. So remember, here are the mechanical rules of our system. When we enter the trade, we place our trade there. Our first stop, and it depends on you and how many contracts. I normally tell people when they're starting out, go for 25, but very often you're going to get 50 or more. You see right here where that red X is, which is the recommended first take profit, is 70 points. But let's just assume we went to 50 points on this. I mean, you got that in 5, 10, 15 to 20 minutes. Now, with the risk parameters, what we do is we take, I clicked on the wrong thing there. Put that back where I had it. Where is it? Right there. This is what I want, I believe. We place that at a stop loss of 25. Either 25 or the edge of this cloud, this gray cloud, whichever happens to be more. And you'll see what happened with this trade is we got triggered into the trade right at the bottom of the cloud, so there's no way we can put a stop loss there. It would be not smart to have zero. So we go with the 25, either at the edge of the cloud or 25. So we put the stop loss down there. We never took any heat on this trade. Now, depending on where you got out on this, I'm going to delete this trade tool now just because I want to illustrate something. What happened? It immediately had a huge burst up, and then a kind of a doji candle with big wicks, small body, big wicks on either side, pushing the market up. They're looking for price acceptance to the top. But you'll notice on this third candle, which will be 15 minutes in, look what they did here. They sent a wick down and they went right down to touch the exact spot where our entry was. So you were never in drawdown, but you would have been back to break even after having been up. Let's just see. We don't know the action here, but let's just say it was there. On that candle, you were up 54 points, and then on the next candle, it takes it all back, and then immediately reverses, and then we get the first take profit there, and then it continues up for a couple more candles with a second take profit on that candle. So depending on where you exited, you could have got anywhere 25 if you were ultra conservative, 50 points if you're medium, 70 plus points if you're more advanced. Then about an hour later at 9:50 a.m., we got a banger, a huge downdraft in the market. And the here again, it signaled right at the edge of the cloud. No drawdown. It never, ever got back anywhere near that area. And in the matter of 15 minutes, 3 candles, we had, and there's the X for the first take profit, we had a 119-point gain in 15 minutes, a little over an hour after the market opens. So, I mean, you can't ask for much better than that. Even if you got late entry into this, you still got a huge return on your money. Even trading one micro, $2 a point, 100 points is $200 you could have picked up very easily with absolutely no drama. Then they consolidated this thing for a long time, for over an hour. They did push down one more time, way below the bottom of the cloud. And then it reversed up here till at noon. We did get an entry signal, but it was really a strange situation. Let me just see. It popped up immediately 40 points. Now, normally we'd like to get a little bit more than that. And what happened was we never got any follow through at all on that candle. So what happened was it consolidated, pulled back a little bit, kind of hung around, tried to push itself up, but ultimately failed and went down. So depending on where you put your stop loss, this would have been either a break-even trade or a $50 to $80 loss, assuming this is per micro contract, depending on when where in here you set your stop loss. Now, technically, the mechanical rules tell us that let's just assume an entry up there, that we should put our stop at the edge of the cloud, which in this case was 43 points. Okay? Either the edge of the cloud or 25 points, whichever is greater. So you'll see here, because there was no cloud below, the stop loss goes at 25 points. In this case, this one entered at the top of the cloud. And so if we put our stop loss down here at 43 points, we technically were never stopped out of this, depending on where we entered, possibly at these candles, but you would have never had a stop loss greater than 40 points. So $80 per contract is the maximum you should have ever lost. And then after consolidating for a very long time, it finally got up some momentum to the upside, and ultimately did reach a take profit here and here. So the first take profit edge is here. Let's see here. This would have been 70 points, and that's 170 points. Now here again, when you're undergoing this kind of heat and the market is going nowhere for that length of time, let's face it, no one is probably going to just sit around in a trade, right? Unless you're the kind of person that just puts it on and lets it work. which I do with some of my other systems, but with this particular one, because the NQ just can move so fast, I tend, if I'm in a trade for 15 to 20 points and I'm at or near break even, I move my stop loss up and my break even and go on to the next trade. I simply don't have the time to sit around and wait for this to ferment like this. Now, I am in the process today of emailing all of my existing owners of the system. The upgrade is ready, okay? And we'll be going out to you. Today is Saturday, either later today, because I still have to film some of the installation and usage videos. So I've got everybody added to the new indicator. It's the CC Coach Chris MACD reentry. It is a private script which you get when you purchase the system. You do have permission, so if you are an existing user and are watching this video before I email you, go into the invite only section of click indicators, go over to the left, and you'll have the invite only way at the bottom. Click on that, and you should see this indicator listed, the Coach Chris MACD reentry. And what that does is it adds these red and green arrows. So let's just use this. Let me get rid of this quickly. Let's just say you were in this trade and you stopped out or got out at break even. Well, you're sitting there for a long time out of a trade. Well, with this, what I've done is I've created another entry trigger. Not quite as good as the first one, but it's proven to be fairly consistent to me. And so what it does is when we see, because we're triggered green and we're above the basis line, that's this line right here. I normally have it colored red, but for today it's brownish for some reason. As long as we have had the last entry signal was green, okay, and it did pull back here, which I didn't like, but here again, we're breaking above that. We are still in a very bullish mood in the market. And so we have a very strong basis that this is going to continue to go up. And so what happens is when this comes back and touches this basis line, that's this line in the middle of the cloud, just with the wick like this or here, you then have a green light if you're an advanced trader, okay, to get into an additional trade. And you can see here what would have happened is you would have got a really nice trade of another 50 points, okay? And then look what happens a short time later, another wick down and another re-entry, which would be over 100 points. So you see what I'm talking about. This is not a re-entry condition because, first of all, we've pierced it here with the whole body of a candle, and the wicks have been below and here. What I'm talking about is just a smooch, a kiss. The wick can go through a little bit, okay, but the body of the candle cannot go through a little bit. So now, with these optional re-entry signals, you're getting at least an additional 2 to 5 trades a day that very often go as far and or more than the original. And so here was another one this morning at 11 o'clock on the downside. Remember, we got this push down and we got a really nice 100-point plus trade in 15 minutes. Well, it consolidated, drifted a little lower. We're still well below the basis line. And you can see what happens is they push the market way below. Well, that's got to, at some point, it doesn't have to, but in most cases, they'll retrace that back to a point of comfort or a point where the market has standing orders or where it's visited early. They pick up that liquidity. You can see with that long wick, they're sucking up liquidity, which gives them energy then to continue to push the market back down. So you can see here's the red arrow, down arrow, it hits right on the line, smooches it. Beautiful trade to the downside. This is a re-entry. Another over 100 points. So you can see why this is so powerful. It's really, really adding a nice component. Remember the confluence. We want this this indicator line here also to be green, and the thermometer over here to, well, not necessarily green. We want it to be the same color of the direction we're trading in. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this video. All of the purchasers of the system will be getting this new indicator in addition to the old one. I've got some really cool things coming up. I'm not in a position to release them yet, but stay tuned because some of them will be coming out this week. I also will have some new technical analysis videos and trying to do a daily recap. So thanks to all my customers and everybody who's liked and subscribed to my channel. Have a great holiday weekend, everyone.